And everyone, welcome. It's been a minute since we've done a Zatsu. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. I saw running the train. They'll be here. They said they'll won't be able to watch the first 30 minutes or so, but I'll be there in spirit. Thank you. Leah, welcome in. Denise, welcome in. Estefania, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Welcome in. Welcome. S, welcome in. Silver, welcome in. And Tristan, welcome in. Welcome in, guys. Welcome. We're just going to be chatting today. No real specific topic or anything, so feel free to ask whatever, or feel free to talk about whatever. But that's pretty much all we're going to be doing today. I will be going over what will be Piano Teddy Bear as well. Welcome in. Welcome. I also as well will be just kind of talking about what the schedule is going to be while I am gone on vacation, because I have been working on stuff. I have been working on quite a bit of different. I've been trying out something different for videos and that sort of thing. So I guess we can just start off with that. But also thank you to everyone that watches this VODed. Thank you. But yes, we haven't done a Zatsu in quite a while. I don't think we've done one in months, quite a few months actually. So this is our first one. This is our first one in quite a while, guys. But yes, we will be going over the schedule for the next 2 weeks for video uploads. I'm not going to spoil what I'm doing, like what exactly will be uploaded, because I feel like that kind of takes away from the fun, and I'm not really looking to spoil anything like that. So, but But also, if you guys haven't noticed, chat box is still not working. Unfortunately, that's a YouTube problem. There's nothing I can really do on my end. There is a way to work around it, but it kind of goes against YouTube TOS, and I'm not looking to do that. So even though this chat box is kind of ugly, we're just going to have to deal with it until either it gets fixed or YouTube reverses whatever it is they did. So it is what it is. Yeah, there's not much we can really do about that, but at least there is something. At least it's the best I can do for now. But yes, guys, yes. When it I was gonna go over the schedule. We will, so essentially what it's going to be while I'm gone is there's going to be an upload every day that I would normally stream, as well as I have 2 shorts that are coming out. One is coming out tomorrow. So we have 1 short coming out tomorrow, and then another short a week after tomorrow. So if I remember correctly, that should be the 21st as well. So, and then like I said previously in the previous live, some of the previous live streams is, it'll be the content that will be uploaded is I've been working on kind of doing something a little bit different when it comes to analog horror videos and watch-alongs and that sort of thing. So I did watch some analog horrors on my own and recorded them and recorded my reactions to them, as well as kind of edited them up a little bit differently than how I normally do, and tried to just kind of do a little bit more of a deep dive into them and that sort of thing, kind of explain what's happening a little bit more. And these are analog horrors that are a little bit shorter than what would necessarily I'd be able to do for a live stream, because like I said previously, live streams are ones where I prefer to do analog horrors watching with you guys that are a little bit longer, because analog horrors, some of them are very, very short, some of them are only like about half an hour. So these ones are about half an hour to 40-ish minutes each worth of analog horror, but them being so short kind of gives me a little bit more room to kind of edit them a little bit differently, to try and do a little bit more with them than necessarily for the longer live streams, for obvious reasons. So that's what's primarily going to be coming out within the next 2 weeks, as well as I sprinkled in a couple games here and there as well. Some normal horror games. So if you guys just like watching only horror games, there will be a few for that as well. But I hope you guys do check out the analog horror stuff as well, because that did take quite a bit of editing. I hope you guys enjoy that as well as shorts, and the shorts will be essentially the same as they've always been, a bit memey, a bit funny, that sort of thing. So if you guys are looking for, if you guys would like to check out the shorts as well, I'd greatly appreciate that as well. But that pretty much covers it. I'm not going to spoil exactly what, like I said before. We're just going to kind of they'll be released on days that I would normally stream. But I'm going to miss you guys. It's going to be a little bit strange because I have not taken this much time off since I started streaming. Since I started, because I remember when I first started streaming, I did take another slow vacation. Skinamarink watch along when? Maybe at some point when we get back. I would definitely love to, because Skinamarink is an amazing movie. I really like that one. It's not for everyone though. I do recognize that as well. Definitely excited for the new content. Thank you, Tristan. Thank you. Yes, I'm excited for you guys to check it out. I've been working pretty hard on it. It's been pretty crazy the past couple weeks because I don't want to just have nothing or upload nothing while I'm on vacation. So I definitely want to have more. I definitely wanted to have some content for you guys while I am away. So it's been a little bit hectic though, trying to do that on top of what I normally do. So I hope it's okay. I hope you guys enjoy it. But yes, other than that though, like I said, this is just going to be kind of a free chat. We're just going to be kind of talking about random stuff here and there. Skinamarink was so good but scared me for a week. Skinamarink is definitely very, what's the word? It's definitely uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it is definitely pretty scary, but I would say it has like a weird nostalgia feel to it. It kind of gives me the vibe of like, I feel like I've been in situations like this before, but I haven't at the same time. But it's an amazing movie. It will get under your skin though if that type of nostalgia does affect you. It very easily can get under your skin for sure. But yeah, I would love to do a watch along for that as well. There is a poll up as well for you guys that are members, for which movie you guys would like to watch. Skinamarink is not on it. I think Skinamarink may not be a poll one. It might just be one that I just pick to watch with you guys. But yes, there is a poll up if you guys would like to go vote on it. It is for 2 weeks in the future, for what movie we'll be watching for membership only. So you guys have 2 weeks to vote, no pressure. And as well as if anyone that is watching is not a member would like to become a member, then you would be able to vote as well. So and essentially I will get that ready after I return, as well as the current there is a waiting room up as well. That is the day that I will be returning, and I will be back to live streaming. So that's just a placeholder for now. It may not be a Zatsudan. It may be a game. I will be keeping an eye out for games that look pretty interesting while I'm away, because I feel like new games come out all the time, and especially since I will be gone for about 2 weeks, there'll probably be definitely a lot of new games that are interesting to play. So that is the current waiting room is not for sure what will be happening. It's just kind of a placeholder, but you can expect that I will be streaming on that day when I return. So but yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything. There's honestly not too much news to talk about. This is, like I said, this is just going to be kind of a couple hours of us just kind of hanging out and chatting and talking about random stuff and that sort of thing. Usually for these Zatsus, I kind of like talking about whatever, because like I said, sharing is caring, and I love talking about the things that I like and the things that I enjoy and that sort of thing. I hope you guys had a fun time during the for the members as well. I hope you guys had a fun time during the FNAF watch along. I thought it was pretty fun as well. Not a very great movie by any means, but it is definitely a movie, and it was definitely fun to just kind of watch it and laugh with you guys about it. But yes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to shoot. There's no topic or anything for this Zatsudan today. We're just going to be kind of talking about whatever. Yeah, and this is like the perfect time for you guys to ask any questions. If you guys have any questions for me or that sort of thing. I do know that you guys sometimes ask questions during streams and stuff, and sometimes depending on the game, it gets a little bit difficult for me to always answer them, especially if I'm very focused on the game. That's kind of what happened with what was it? The Bathhouse. The Bathhouse was an absolutely insane long game. I was not expecting it to be so long. It was really good, but it's a great movie to laugh at. It is. I love to watch more movies like that, for sure, in the future. My friends got on me for not liking the FNAF movie. I mean, to say that it's a great movie, I would say I have to question. I have to question what your definition of a great movie is if you think the FNAF movie is well written. Yuki, can I ask how you got so into horror? Like a specific series, game, movie, anything, just anything really. I feel like when I was really young, when I was baby Yuki, I did really get into horror when at a fairly young age. It was mainly movies like Predator, as well as Alien. Those are older movies that I watched when I was younger on VHS, which I think that's also why it kind of contributes to my love of analog and that sort of thing. I did watch those on VHS growing up, and that was kind of what started. But the thing about it, though, is when it came to Alien, Alpha, welcome in, welcome as well. But when it came to Alien and Predator, those movies, I was more interested in the lore behind them. They didn't really necessarily scare me too much, but I really liked the creature designs and that sort of thing. Yeah, so I grew up watching those. I grew up watching a lot of American horror films as well. And it didn't necessarily, like, a lot of them didn't really scare me too much, but I definitely did get into more of like the monster aspect of it, like the monster movies sort of things. Those are what interested me at first for horror. As I got older, I really started to appreciate more the paranormal side of things when it came to horror stuff. Leah Dreams as well, welcome in, welcome. Yeah, that's where it really started with me, though. So it went from first just being fairly interested in Alien and that sort of thing, and like that genre. I did watch Alien vs Predator when I was very, very young, and it actually did scare me quite a bit. But as I got a little bit older, I think I watched Alien vs Predator. Probably I think I probably watched it when around the time like a little bit after, probably like about a year or two after it first came out. But I was very young then, so I didn't really understand anything about it. I just saw that it was kind of scary, and it did kind of scare me. But as I got older, I remembered that I did see that when I was younger, and the creature designs and stuff really intrigued me. But I think that's why analog horror resonates with me so much, because I do have that very big nostalgia filter when it comes to analog horror. And that's why when I started this channel, I did want to at some point move towards analog horror and watching it and dissecting it with you guys, because yeah, as well as horror games as well. I appreciate a good horror game with a really interesting creature design or enemy design, because that's what fascinates me the most about horror. And I think that depending on the creature design, if it's very well done and it's very well and the atmosphere is very well executed, I feel like it can be scary. It can be like essentially horror is very subjective. Horror is everyone has a different take on horror. But as well as growing up, around the same time that I was kind of watching Alien and kind of getting into that when it came to horror stuff, I also started getting into Japanese horror films. I did watch a lot of those growing up as well. I watched Ju-on, Ringu, those sort of ones. They definitely did have an impact on me as well. I think that's also as well as why I like the Chilla's art series so much, because they definitely draw from that heavily. Especially the Bathhouse. Bathhouse Restore definitely leaned into that a lot, which I thought, and all of Chilla's games have definitely done that. What kind of creatures have really scared you? Like I said before, when welcome in Kia as well. Welcome. When I was very young, Alien definitely did have an impact on me, but as I got older, I just kind of turned into more of a fascination. Same with the Predators as well, from that series. And then I'm just trying to think of what other ones have really scared me. I guess like Silent Hill creature designs have always kind of scared me, because there is such a strange kind of perverse aspect to the creature designs. I know Alien and H.R. Giger as well has a very kind of sexual connotation to the designs of those as well. But they don't really scare me as much because they look so alien. But when it came to Silent Hill, there are a lot of creature designs. They're somewhat based in reality. Alien, it looks so alien and it looks so different. That's why I think it kind of fascinates me more than it kind of scares me. But for Silent Hill and a lot of the creature designs in that, it looks so human, but not human at the same time, kind of that uncanny valley effect. And that's what I think it kind of leans into for those ones. What other kind of monster movies did you like growing up? The Universal Picture monsters like Dracula, Creature of the Black Lagoon. Yes, Creature of the Black Lagoon as well is another one that I did like as well. Candyman, I did watch those when I was much older. Candyman though wasn't necessarily as scary to me, I guess I should say. But yes, when it came to Dracula and Creature of the Black Lagoon, I am very, very much familiar with those as well. Creature of the Black Lagoon, I have a very fond respect for what it was trying to do, because it is things like Creature of the Black Lagoon that I'm sure inspired and went on to inspire the kind of suit horror like that we see in Alien, that we see in Predator, and that sort of thing as well. Are you a fan of body horror at all? I guess it depends. I've seen most of the Saw movies. Most of the time though, when it comes to, I don't find that necessarily very scary. I find it very, I find body horror very gruesome. And when it comes to bloody stuff and gory stuff, I always get a little bit squeamish, and I've always been that way ever since I was a kid. So every time there's like a lot of blood, and I have a very, profound fear of needles as well. So pretty much anything relating to in that realm, I get very, very squeamish. So not the biggest fan of body horror. That's probably the same reason why I don't really like slasher films as much either. There are some slasher films that are an exception, of course. But most of them, I wouldn't say I'm a super big fan of. Usually I lean more into, so no Saw watch along. I mean, maybe at some point. The first Saw movie I actually quite enjoy. I thought it was very creative with how it was with what it was doing. I can't really say the same about the other Saw movies. I kind of joked about it during the FNAF watch along. All the Saw movies kind of turn into the "Do you want to play a game?" And then the people that are always involved in it are always like you this time I'll be putting you in the ball kicker 9000. You used to be a professional soccer player and you made a living kicking other people's balls, and now in this soccer kicker ball kicker 9000 you'll be kicking your own balls. That's that's kind of what all the Saw movies are to me. There's kind of whack. Anything like The Thing. Actually, I love The Thing. The Thing is one of my favorite older films as well. I do love The Thing. The Blob remake I have not seen. Slither is one that I have also seen as well. Or I have not seen Slither, but I have heard of it. But I do love The Thing. I guess if you put The Thing into body horror as well, I guess I do enjoy it. I think The Thing though, it's more of the paranoia of it as well. I guess with the creature design as well. Of it that I do enjoy about that one. But yeah, the Blob remake and Slither, I've both heard of both of those, but I have not seen them. But yeah, if you would consider those body horror, then yes, I do enjoy those as well. That was actually a great impression. I mean, that's what most of the Saw movies are. It's so the first Saw movie though, I will say, has a very good premise to it. I think it was very solid. The script was, I would say, it is kind of corny now, especially with some of the editing, but I do think that the script was very solid for that. I think what they were doing was very unique. And I have a very big respect for the first Saw movie. The second and third, I think up until 4 or 5, I was pretty interested in them, but after that, they just kind of felt all samey. Basically anything with gooey / melty abominations are what I think are sick. I agree. The Thing is so interesting. I actually saw that there are figures that came out semi recently by NECA, I believe, that is the dog thing. I remember I saw that scene when I want to say like 9 or 10, and I watched it, and actually the Thing did scare me quite a bit because the creature designs were so realistic. That's why I say, like, older movies, if they are done well, the effects in those ones with both Alien and The Thing, and as well as Predator, I think that they age very well, and you could watch them today and I still think that they look great. They look amazing. But of course that doesn't apply for all older horror movies. Some of them are notorious for their very weak prosthetics, design, makeup effects, that sort of thing. But I think those movies are some of the best, the upper echelon of older horror films. And those are also, like, The Thing is another one of my favorites, for sure. I watched that one when I was, I think, like 11. I want to say I was like 11, like 10 or 11, 9, 10 or 11, somewhere around there. When I watched that one. The new Alien movie is going to be a monster and practical effects movie. I know. I'm super excited about that one. I will be watching it while I'm on vacation. I did make sure that where I'm going is playing it. I'm going to be watching that one and Longlegs. So when I get back, we can definitely, if you guys have seen them as well, we can definitely discuss them, because I will be going back to Alien Isolation as well once I am back, and I would absolutely love to talk about Alien Romulus as well, because I love the back to form that it is, and I do know that Fede Alvarez is the director, and I absolutely loved their Evil Dead remake. A lot of people were kind of split on it. I feel like it was kind of a mixed bag on whether or not people like the Evil Dead remake from, I think, 2013, I want to say 2013. But I actually did really like that remake. I thought it was not bad. I thought it was pretty interesting. It was a pretty fun time when I watched it. New Alien movie, yes. I think it's back to form. I think taking a very good horror director like Fede Alvarez, who's very well known for kind of mixing things up and changing stuff up and experimenting a lot more, is one of the perfect candidates for kind of revitalizing the Alien franchise a little bit. Because I'm not gonna lie, even though Ridley Scott was the director of the original Alien, I don't think when it came to Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I definitely don't think those were they got a little bit crazy. I think if he wanted to do his own thing with it, not in the Alien franchise, I think it might have done a little bit better than what he was doing with the Alien franchise with those two movies. But for me, they didn't really stick the landing too much. I occasionally watch them just because I do appreciate his directing, and I think it looks very nice, but I don't think it really fits in with the Alien franchise very well. Because if you guys didn't know, Ridley Scott was not the writer of the original Alien movie. So I think it's kind of strange that he wanted to do all these crazy different things for the Alien franchise. And he was primarily the writer, I believe, or he was the main visionary director for those other ones, even though he technically did not come up with the concept for Alien in the original 1979 one. It was actually a different writer that wrote that. I think it was actually two writers, if I'm not mistaken. That's why I'm glad he's only producing it this time. Yes, as long as he's producing it, I think it'll be okay. But when it came to the writing of those, in my opinion, those two movies were a little bit lacking, in my opinion, when it came to both Prometheus and Alien Covenant. So the fact that Alien Romulus is a little bit back to form for the Alien franchise is very it instills me with a lot of excitement for the new one, which I will be seeing later this week. Actually, it does come out on the 16th, so I will be seeing it probably. I don't know about opening day, but I will definitely be seeing it maybe a day or two after, and I'm very, very excited about it. Longlegs is another one that I'm really excited about. I love Silence of the Lambs. I love Zodiac. I love Seven, and that's another movie that looks to be kind of in that same vein, so that's another one that I'm very much looking forward to as well. When it comes to those types of horror movies, I definitely did not get into those until I was probably around I was probably a teenager when I really started getting into those types of horror movies, because they're definitely not something that I think they're more along the lines of kind of true crime sort of deals that I obviously, for obvious reasons, I was not really into when I was very young. But yeah, when it comes to the horror genre as a whole, I've always kind of had I've always been very interested in it. Silent Hill was one of the first games, though, that really piqued my interest in the horror genre as a whole when it came to on the video game side. I've always kind of been into horror movies and that sort of thing. But yes, it was definitely Silent Hill that piqued my interest in gaming in the horror scene. There are also a couple other horror games that I can't really remember at this time. But it was mainly just Silent Hill that really started piquing it. It's kind of sad to say, but unfortunately, Silent Hill, at the time, I guess, I don't know if you'd want to consider it a AAA game. I guess it kind of was, because it was done by Konami, or published by Konami. But it really does feel like in the early 2000s, there were a lot of good AAA horror games, and I think is mainly because that the way that they were produced was kind of the indie mentality that you have nowadays. When it comes to horror games. That's why I kind of reach outside the box and play a lot of indie horror games, because I feel like those are the types of ones that are some of the most creative, and obviously we do play ones that don't always fit in line with that. But when I do think of how those older horror games were created, the early 2000s ones on the PlayStation 2 and stuff, it really was kind of an indie mindset. It was like a small team of people just having a very solid vision for what they wanted to create and just kind of going for it. And that's how a lot of indie horror games are now. And now, though, you kind of see it being more solo developers or very small teams of people making horror games nowadays in the indie scene. Have you played PT? I did play PT when it first came out. Unfortunately, I don't still have that original PlayStation that had the demo on it. But yes, I have. PT is very notorious. It's very sad that it got canceled, unfortunately, but PT has gone on to inspire a lot of different indie games as well. That have gone on to PT essentially inspired like a whole genre of like PT inspired games and that sort of thing. But there is Madison. I do know Madison is another game that I do want to play at some point in the future. That is heavily inspired by PT. And I would absolutely love to play that on stream with you guys at some point. It's a little expensive right now. I'm kind of waiting for it to go on sale before I buy it, because it is a little expensive. It is pretty expensive. It's not a super long game either, so paying, I think it's like $40 or something like that. Paying $40 for a not super long game, I'm not really super keen on. But I would absolutely love to play that on stream with you guys at some point as well. As well as the Silent Hill 2 remake. We will be playing that on stream when that eventually does release. I hope my computer doesn't die, if I'm being 100% honest, guys. I'm kind of scared for my computer for when we do play that. But it looks okay. I'm not gonna say it looks amazing or anything like that. I would absolutely, if I had to pick between either playing Silent Hill 2 original or playing the Silent Hill 2 remake, I would kind of prefer to just play Silent Hill 2 on stream with you guys. But we will be playing the remake. I would love it though if Konami would release the first 3 Silent Hill, or even 4, The Room as well. Release all 4 of them on Steam for easy access. And I would absolutely love that. Have you played Omori? No, I have not. But that is one that we will eventually play on the channel. That is one that's a very beefy game, a very long game. So that'll probably be a series. I'm probably thinking about... so after we finish Alien Isolation, I'm thinking of doing one series at a time. So after we finish Alien Isolation, we will be picking up another series. And that'll either be Silent Hill... that'll either be Silent Hill or it'll be Omori, and but for sure it is on my list of games. I have a huge list of a bunch of different horror games that I want to play with you guys eventually. But like I said, it does take time. It takes time to get to all of them, because there are just so many games, and then there are so many new games that come out as well, that I would like to give attention to and play and try out and that sort of thing. But yes, I am pretty excited about the Silent Hill 2 remake. I'm not, graphically it looks great. When it comes to the gameplay of it and the actual horror aspect of it, that is yet to be seen. We'll probably get, I'll probably get a good idea of it once we start playing it. It looks very Resident Evil-esque, which is, I also do plan to play Resident Evil 2 as well. Resident Evil, I don't know about Resident Evil 1. The remake for that one is kind of a little rough around the edges. But I definitely do want to play Resident Evil 2, potentially 3, even though 3 is super short, as well as 4, and maybe even the Resident Evil 7 and 8 at some point in the future as well. But those are more mainstream horror. Kind of what the channel has been built upon at this point has been very indie horror and that sort of thing. So those ones will be much further on down the line, but they are still on the list for sure. But yeah, when I think of Chad, welcome in, welcome. But yeah, when it comes to older games, I wish that some of them were a little bit more accessible, because I definitely do prefer the first Resident Evil is impossible to play on your own. Yes, it is very notorious. It is very notorious for that. For that reason, we will probably not be playing it anytime soon. Maybe at some point. You never know. You never know what I might play when it comes to what I might be interested in and that sort of thing. But yes, I definitely want the channel to be everything horror, not just as you guys know, we cover analog horror on the channel. We cover analog horror, we cover indie horror, some mainstream horror stuff as well, and as well as for members, we do the horror movie watch-alongs and that sort of thing. Because it is a genre that I do enjoy, and it's something that I have a passion for creating content for, and I don't think that'll ever change. I think if anything, just the type of content might change of how I present the content, but overall, I think that the content genre will always stay the same. because I feel like it's such a rich genre. There's always new stuff coming out. There's always new takes on it. I absolutely love Anomaly Hunter games. You haven't played one in a while, but I would absolutely those are one of my favorite genres of horror, are the Anomaly Hunter games, because they're just so I feel like those are fun because it kind of gets you guys as well engaged in it, looking for stuff, trying to figure stuff out. And I think it's super great. I think it's very, very interesting, and that's definitely a genre of horror that has popped up recently. And that's what I think is very interesting about horror as a whole genre, is that it's always changing. There's always new stuff, always people putting unique spins on stuff, and I think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm pretty excited though. There is a lot of other games that we will be playing once I'm back. I want to try and finish Alien Isolation semi soon after I return. I think I'm probably thinking of doing more longer streams when it comes to Alien Isolation, because it is a little bit longer of a game. But how I'm thinking of doing those is I will once I'm back, I'll probably do, instead of 2-ish hours on stream, I'll probably be doing a bit longer, so probably like maybe even 4 to 5 hours for Alien Isolation, just so that we can really knock that out, because I will be on the hype of seeing Alien Romulus and that sort of thing. Thoughts on Roblox horror games? Have you played any? I have not, actually. I do know that there are a lot of Roblox horror, but when it comes to Roblox horror, I kind of find it similar to Minecraft horror. It just doesn't really do it for me personally. But I have seen stuff. I've actually never played Roblox before, but I have seen some videos on it. But I don't really think that's an angle that that I will be taking the channel in the future. Unfortunately, it's just not really a type of content that or types of games that I'm very interested in. I guess I'm very old school when it comes to that. I like different types of games that are not in that sort of style. Call me old fashioned, call me an old boomer, but yeah, when it comes to that, I'm not very not super interested, unfortunately. But there is a lot of other games though that I'm interested. I want to see Yuki play Doors. Let me see, which one is that one? Doors. I'll actually take a look. I always try and take your guys' recommendations into account as well. Oh, it's a Roblox one, unfortunately. Yeah, but I do also try to take your guys' recommendations into account as well when it comes to making schedules and that sort of thing. As well as analog horror watch-alongs and that same vein as well. But yes, I definitely want to play an Anomaly Hunter game. We haven't played one in so long. It's been a minute. That's definitely one that we will be playing once I'm back. Yeah, and then, like I said before, Alien Isolation, I want to try and finish that series relatively soon. So that we can, because I want to try and at least have it done by the time Silent Hill 2 Remake comes out. Because Silent Hill 2 Remake is one that we will definitely be delving into, because that is very nostalgic for me, and I'm definitely interested to see their take on it. But I do know that the gaming studio that they did hire to do Silent Hill 2 Remake is a little iffy, to put it lightly. But nevertheless, I'm excited. I'm excited to try it out. I'm always open to trying games, even if I don't know if they'll necessarily pan out and that sort of thing. But as well as there is other stuff that I am working on behind the scenes as well, that there is other stuff that will be coming out as well, that is in the horror genre. Some of which you guys will be seeing while I'm gone. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy that sort of. Hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, I'm just trying to think if there are any other anything else. Whenever it comes to the stuff, I feel like sometimes I lose my train of thought. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot. Because sometimes my mind is all over the place when I'm thinking about different, like many different topics at the same time. But yeah, definitely when Halloween comes around too, will definitely be understandable. Roblox is kind of different platform. Did you play a lot of video games growing up? Actually, when I was very young, I did not actually. When it came to video games and stuff, video game consoles were kind of expensive. Same with computers as well. So I actually I started the horror, my horror craze, my horror obsession kind of started with mainly just movies and that sort of thing. Yeah, I think it mainly started with movies, and then it kind of as I got a little bit older and I started getting video game consoles. Around the time I was like, probably I want to say like 11 to 13. That's when I actually started playing video games. I did play quite a bit. Like I did play, or I can't speak. Sorry, guys. I did play quite a bit of horror games once I was around the 11 to 13 age. And I did start playing, like I said, Silent Hill, some older ones as well. I can't remember the name of. There are other ones that I did play when I was younger, though. As well as a lot of shooter games. Surprisingly, even though that's not what I do. That's not the type of content that I produce. I did play a lot of shooter games and that sort of thing. I played. I'm trying to think of which ones I did play. I did play Halo quite a bit. When I was growing up as well. It was Halo, Call of Duty, those sort of things. Trying to think. I think it was Fatal Frame. Yeah, Fatal Frame as well is one that I definitely did try out when I was younger. But yeah, growing up though, it wasn't too much horror games and that sort of thing, or video games, I guess I should say. It was mainly just movies. I watched a lot of movies growing up. I watched a lot of I think what kind of contributes to my fascination of like cosmic horror and that sort of thing is definitely Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I grew up watching Star Wars a lot. Used to watch those on VHS as well. A very analog aesthetic to those. I remember I used to wear out my VHS tapes of the original Star Wars trilogy. They would the like sleeve that it would come in or whatever, it was always like tattered to hell because I would just watch them all the time. But yeah, I think Star Wars is one of my introductories to my fascination with like space and that sort of stuff, and that's why I absolutely love cosmic horror games. I remember I played one recently called something wrong is or on the moon, I think that's what it was called. And I absolutely love games like that. I love Iron Lung as well, is kind of like a cosmic space horror type game. That's also why Gemini Home Entertainment is so interesting to me, because it is a cosmic horror analog horror series. But yeah, I think that's probably what it was that kind of kickstarted the whole thing. Also, when I was growing up, I played I built a lot of Gundam sets, also, as well as a lot of Lego sets as well. It was actually Lego Star Wars, and like I told you guys before, Bionicle. That was pretty much my childhood growing up, was movies, Lego sets, and scary movies. Because my mom did used to buy a lot of American horror films, and that sort of thing. So I would always, whenever she wasn't looking, or whenever she was out at work or whatever, I would always watch them, and that sort of thing. And it's kind of interesting because I feel like American horror nowadays is a pretty mixed bag when it comes to Blumhouse and that sort of thing. Because Blumhouse, when we're watching the FNAF movie, I was saying that the Blumhouse brand as a whole is I feel like their stuff used to be pretty decent, not too bad. But nowadays it's kind of you get stuff like FNAF, and then you get a lot of other weird stuff. Also, when we're watching the FNAF movie, I was talking about the Jim Henson Company as well. The Jim Henson Company is the ones that made the animatronics for the that helped to produce the animatronics for FNAF. And I thought that for the FNAF movie anyway, and they look amazing. But another thing that I did watch growing up was The Dark Crystal, which is an older kind of dark, kind of creepy movie. and that sort of thing. I guess that kind of also is somewhat horror related or horror adjacent as well, because it is very very disturbing with some of the themes in that one as well. But Blumhouse is either really good or really mid. I feel like nowadays, I feel like that used to be the case for it. It was either really good or really mid. I feel like nowadays it's just really mid. When it comes to horror movies, though, I definitely venture outside of the... I do watch, of course, American horror films. Ones that pique my interest, like Longlegs and that sort of thing, definitely do get me pretty hyped and pretty interested, because it's like a director who kind of knows what they're doing when it comes to horror. For every Longlegs, you probably have like 10 or 20 imaginaries. But I usually do branch out when it comes to the horror movies that I do watch. I watch a lot of European ones, surprisingly. European horror films are always some of the most disturbing and some of the most interesting premise when it comes to horror films. Whenever I see that there's a European horror film that's out, I'm always super interested, because those ones are always so interesting to me. Just the way that they're shot, the way they're presented. There is a remake of one coming out with James McAvoy in it, which is Speak No Evil. That was originally let me see, I think it was I want to say Danish, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Danish. It is a Danish film, and that was super interesting, super creative, and a lot of those ones are usually distributed by art house studios and that sort of thing. As cringe as it is to say, when it comes to kind of artsy fartsy, I guess I would consider myself more of an artsy fartsy sort of person when it comes to horror. Because I feel like those are the ones that are always some of the most creative than just kind of the typical American horror films. Not to bash on them or anything, but let's be honest. In my opinion, they're not the best written ones for sure. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for new horror films. There's one that I watched recently called Starvaker. I don't know if you guys have seen any trailers for that, or if you guys have watched that one. But if you guys haven't, and you guys are kind of interested in kind of psychological horror films that are kind of outside the box and kind of a little strange, I definitely recommend Starvaker. It stars Matt Smith, actually, from Doctor Who, Zadokta. Personally my favorite Doctor growing up, but it was very interesting to see him. He's a great actor. I know he's been in a lot of different things, and it was very interesting to see him in a horror film. And when I saw that the movie was coming out, I saw that he was in it, and I was like, okay, well, this is probably going to be at least pretty good, because I feel like Matt Smith is a actor that I don't think he would star in a horror film just for money and that sort of thing. And it was very good. It was a very the Zadokta, yes, Zadokta, my favorite Doctor growing up. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that one. It was very interesting, very strange, very psychological in nature. Those are some of the most interesting horror films for me, are the psychological horror films, because it does take me back to like the Silent Hill sort of thing. I saw that they're also making a Silent Hill movie, a Silent Hill 2 movie, which is very interesting, considering that the first one was okay, definitely American horror for sure. The second one was bad American horror film, not very good. They brought back the director of the first one to do the Silent Hill 2 adaptation, and I have no idea how the fuck that's gonna work, or if that'll even be good, because Silent Hill 2 is already a pretty infamous game story. I feel like a remake of the game is already a really hard subject matter to tackle, let alone a fucking movie, trying to adapt that into a movie. Maybe if it was a TV series, I might have a little bit more faith in it, but yeah, when it comes to When it comes to a movie, I don't know how well that's going to work out, but nevertheless, I am interested to see how it'll go. I think at least the aesthetic will look nice because in that first Silent Hill film, say what you will about the plot of it, I do think that they at least nailed the aesthetic of that one, for sure. The aesthetic definitely did look really nice. Star Lantern, welcome in, welcome. But yes, we're just kind of chatting right now. We're just talking about a bunch of random stuff. Any question? There's no specific topic that we're talking about necessarily. Just feel free to ask any questions. But yeah, we're where was I? Oh yeah, the Silent Hill 2 movie. Yeah, pretty interested to see where it'll go. The aesthetic of the first one, a lot of people say that was one of the best parts of it. So I'm hoping that it's good, but at the same time, I don't know. You got to get some really good writers to knock down that script. Ideally, I would want to see Silent Hill put into a TV series instead of just a 2-hour movie, at most 2-hour movie. But speaking of TV shows, or horror TV shows, I saw that there is actually an Alien TV show in the works as well. That's supposed to be coming out semi soon, I believe. I think it's either next year or the year after. I don't remember actually. As well as that there is an It TV show, and I think it will star everyone's favorite Bill Skarsgård, the same actor who did play Pennywise in the movies, which is very interesting. I'm super interested to see how that'll go as well. There's literally nothing, there's not a lot of information about it. I think it's also directed by the same person who did the first 2 It movies. For the remakes, of course. So I'm super interested to see how that's going to turn out. I want to see a trailer. Usually when I can see a trailer for something, I can usually kind of get an idea of the vibe of it. Whenever I see a trailer and they show too much of a horror film in it, it's a bad sign. Whenever there's a trailer that is posted that shows too much. That's why I think Alien Romulus and Longlegs were excellent in the marketing department. They don't show too much. They literally, most of the trailer footage is reused footage from the first trailer, and it looks to be only the very beginning of the film. And I absolutely love that. As well as Longlegs kind of took it back to the old school style of marketing, where they had like a whole website dedicated to like investigating like the murders and that sort of thing, which is so early 2000s when it comes to that sort of a marketing strategy. And it's crazy because they probably spent a lot of money just doing that. They probably spent a lot of money just making those websites and stuff, and probably not a lot of people even saw it, if I'm being honest. So I appreciate that immensely. I did see the website and stuff, and I thought that that's so cool and so early 2000s and very interesting. Goddamn Boxmaker kept breaking down, just got off work. Welcome in, Running the Train. Welcome. We're just kind of talking about horror and that sort of thing, and different just answering questions and that sort of thing. But welcome in, welcome. When they spoiled the whole movie in the trailer, it's sad. I know it is. Barbarian had a similar marketing technique as Longlegs, and it was an amazing horror film. I agree. Barbarian was so good. I think Barbarian, though, in my opinion, the ending got a little crazy, I guess. It got a little too crazy for me at the end there. The beginning, the first 40 to 50 minutes of the movie, I thought were excellent tension, excellent just yuck factor in a horror film. I feel like the very end of it, though, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll try not to spoil anything for you. It gets a little bit too crazy in the back half of that. But I do definitely think that the marketing for that one as well was very, very well done, and I think it was amazing. Yuki voice through the speaker on my phone is soothing my rage. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. But yes, when it comes to what is it? Barbarian, it was such an interesting premise because they knew exactly what the fuck they were doing when they were casting Bill Skarsgård in the beginning of that film. because it's like it's like such a subversion of your expectations, and I think that the way it was done was so good, so much fun. If Barbarian wins the watch along for the members only, that'll be definitely a fun movie to watch, because it is very well executed. Honestly, if it had been cut out around the halfway point where you meet the, it would have been a great short film. I know, it was very, very good. Speaking of Skinamarink, guys, if you guys have not seen, the director of Skinamarink, looping back around to that, which we were talking about in the beginning of the stream, Skinamarink is directed by a director who started out here on YouTube. And they did a lot of short films, and I would highly recommend you guys check out those short films. There's one called Heck that I watched fairly recently that is very, very I wouldn't say it's necessarily scary, but if you like Skinamarink, I would definitely say you would probably like that one a lot as well. It's definitely more depressing, I guess is a good way of putting it. That one is very, very sad for Heck. I wouldn't say scary, but horror subjective, but is very very dark and very deep subject matter that it tackles. So yeah, I would highly recommend that, and check out some of their other short films as well. Skinamarink works so well for me because it's like the fear of the unknown and that sort of thing. When it comes to that horror film, very well done though. Hecking Heck, yes, it is called Heck. It is very, very, very good short horror film that I highly recommend. Another thing, real life horror, yes, I'd say it's more real life horror than what is it? We love depressing horror, yes. Hereditary is another one. But when it comes to Skinamarink, I think it's more of like a supernatural type horror instead of more of a realistic one. It is based in realism, of course, but it's like the monster in the dark, the monster that's hiding in your closet, the monster that's hiding underneath your bed, and that sort of thing. When it comes to Skinamarink, and I think that Heck is not quite like that, a little bit for sure, but it's definitely a little different. Highly recommend it though. I want to see some new analog horror films. I feel like analog horror is such a well, we have Carpool now. I highly recommend, like, I really want to see more analog horror films that kind of tackle that sort of thing. I think it'd be very analog horror is such a rich genre, I think. And I think Skinamarink is definitely capitalizing on it. There's also Kane Pixels is working on a Backrooms film as well, that I saw that I'm pretty interested in as well. I have no idea when that's coming out. Like I say though, I definitely want to see a trailer for it. Some people say that like trailers ruin the movie for you. I think that if a trailer is done well, it should get you interested in it, and that's definitely what happens with Long Legs. Long Legs for me and Alien Romulus is a trailer should get you pumped for a movie. It should get you very interested without showing too much. I guess, but at the end of the day though, it is up to the studios on how they want to edit those trailers and how they want to present them. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't like going into movies completely blind, but I do like knowing at least the vibe and the tone of the film, and I feel like a trailer kind of gives me that before I go into a movie. Yeah, when it comes to anime horror, since we're still on the topic of just talking about different types of horror stuff, I feel like there aren't really that many good anime horrors out there. There are, of course, some. I've definitely seen manga, or I've definitely read manga that are definitely more geared towards the horror genre. But whenever I talk to people about anime horror, I always get the same like couple recommendations of it being like Higurashi, Shiki, and essentially that sort of thing. Of course, like when it comes to the manga scene, there are so many different genres and different ways that horror is portrayed in manga that I think work a little bit better. There's of course infamous Junji Ito. There is more psychological horror that I've read. I think it's called DeadTube or whatever. That's definitely like crazy horror, that sort of thing. But yeah, there's I feel like anime is a little lacking. I know that Shadow's House kind of came out semi recently. Yukaji, welcome in, welcome. We're just kind of chatting, just kind of talking. Feel free to ask any questions. No specific topic right now. Have you seen Corpse Party? I mean, I did watch the original anime quite a while ago, but it's all right. Zero Experience Lane is great as well. I feel like that's very... I don't even know how I describe that one. I don't even know. I guess, yeah, it is horror. It's a very unconventional horror, though. Definitely a different type of horror. But yes, I did watch the Corpse Party anime quite a while back, but we did start playing the visual novel, or the game. It's essentially just a visual novel, quite a while ago. It's very long for the last couple sections of it, though, so that's why I kind of haven't gone back to it. But I do think that it's kind of I would argue that Corpse Party is a little bit more the body gruesome horror and less about like necessarily psychological. I feel like it's a lot of shock factor and not a lot of I guess like suspense horror, that sort of thing. But yeah, Serial Experiments Lane is very unconventional horror, but very interesting nonetheless. Great series. I'm trying to think of any other horror series that I've seen. Like when it comes to anime, the anime scene. I've read so many manga. I've read so many manga that I can't even keep track of all of them. When it comes to great horror manga, but yeah, when it comes to it feels super doomed and I like it. Yeah, Corpse Party I feel like it doesn't necessarily scare me too much. It's more a little bit shock factor, but let me see. I know Higurashi, when I was younger, I think Higurashi kind of interested me a little bit more. There was one that I saw that was, I don't know if it really counts as horror, but it's Summertime Render. Would you guys consider that horror? I remember it's kind of mystery. The beginning was very interesting to me, though. Have you ever played Stardew Valley? I have not. I have not played it. I know the characters. I'm familiar with like the character designs and stuff, but I have not played it. Or if I have played it, I've only played a short amount of it. I do own it though. But I have not played it. Not on stream anyway. But welcome in, welcome. Summertime is a mystery thriller, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could consider it a mystery thriller. I thought it was very horror adjacent though. Very interesting. Jin as well. I guess that's kind of also mystery. I'm looking at horror anime just on Google, and they're giving me like the typical ones, like Another, that sort of thing. But let me see. I would never put Black Butler in the horror genre ever. Yeah, Black Butler is not a horror manga or anime, and I will die on that hill. Trying to think of other ones. Yeah, Hellsing, not really. Devilman Crybaby, I guess you could kind of consider that horror. Devilman Crybaby is amazing, the remake of it anyway. Yeah, there's I feel like anime is kind of lacking a little bit. I know Parasite's a popular one too. Parasite is, I think it's a good series, but I feel like it's kind of more shonen. I feel like Parasite, when it came out, so here's the thing about when it comes to like shonen manga in general now, is I feel like there's been kind of a shift. Let me know if you guys agree with me, or if I'm just kind of theorizing or making shit up. But I feel like shonen has definitely had a shift in genre, if you guys kind of get what I mean. I feel like growing up, shonen was always more you always had shonen shows that are kind of the more stereotypical ones, where you have like your Dragon Balls, if you'll say seinen at least. Yeah. I feel like most shonen shows that are coming out now, you have like Chainsaw Man, which is pretty gruesome. pretty horror based, horror themed. Jujutsu Kaisen as well. As well as I think what kind of kickstarted it was Demon Slayer, is where it really started going in that direction. But like, because when I was growing up, the typical shonen shows that I would think of are like your Hunter x Hunters, your Yu Hakusho's, that sort of thing. But now you have shows like Chainsaw Man and that sort of thing that are definitely more kind of based in horror. I feel the most disappointing horror anime I've ever watched was Lost Island, I think it was called. So very disappointing. Ooh, I might have seen that one. I'm not sure. Let me see. I don't know. I see that there's a visual novel called Lost Island, but not a show. Shonen does have a shift in, I think so too. Yes, I definitely think Shonen has had a shift in the past, I want to say 5 to 10 years-ish. Hunter x Hunter is still its own kind of shonen, I think. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter is still one of my favorites, though. Probably because Hunter x Hunter actually gets pretty dark at times. Like it does have very dark themes and very kind of seinen type vibe to it. But yeah, I think it's interesting that a lot of the more modern shonen are definitely having that more horror aspect to it, which I'm all here for, because if you guys are new here, just take a look at the channel. I do think it's very, very interesting. And I do think it's a lot of fun as well, because especially Chainsaw Man, some of the designs in those are really disturbing, really freaky. Jujutsu Kaisen as well. Lost Island was a giant mystery that made no sense and had no deaths. Characters are weird. I heavily disliked it. Okay, I will definitely be sure to avoid that one. But yeah, when it comes to horror as a genre, when it comes to anime, I think you could kind of make a case for things like Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. There's another one coming out as well that you guys should definitely look out for, which is let me make sure. Dandadan, I think that's what it's called. Very there's an anime coming out for that as well. That's very similar to those as well. That I think is going to be very interesting. Very creepy, interesting designs. Because when I really think about it, right? When I really go back and I like think about kind of more series that are similar to shows like Chainsaw Man, and at least in the themes that are being presented, I kind of think of Gantz as well. When I think about that sort of stuff, and Gantz is one of the series where I feel like Gantz is one that it is very adult in nature, but I feel like it may not be like I don't know. I feel like it could potentially even be seen as like a kind of like a shonen nowadays. But back when Gantz came out, it was very like seinen roots. For sure. So I think that some of the stuff, some of the material in Gantz would definitely need to be toned down a little bit. But yeah, just interesting things that I noticed over the years that I think about as I watch, because I do watch a lot of other shows that are not horror related, horror adjacent as well. The Zoldyck family changes something to me for real. Yes, for real. Zoldyck family is very, very unhinged, very not a very good family dynamic there for sure. They got some, they definitely need to see some family therapy. But even if they did see family therapy, I don't know how much that would help. But yeah, it's something, that's for sure. Sorry guys, I have some coffee here that I'm finishing off. But yeah, when it comes to some Chainsaw Man, devils are freaky as heck. Yes, they are very, 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 very scary looking, very, very freaky. I gotta go, gotta wake up stupid early. Thanks for stopping by, Silver. Thank you. I would not be the therapist. No way. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter is I wish it would end at some point, because I would love to see the ending, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. It is amazing though. It is I sometimes occasionally like watching the original 90s, the 90s one for the I think it's an OVA for the what is it, the Crollo arc, the Phantom Troop arc. Yeah, I like watching the that older 90s one occasionally because I think it's very interesting. I think one of my favorite, I think if I had to pick a favorite character for Hunter x Hunter, it'd probably either be Crollo or Kurapika. Didn't the author spill the ending on Twitter? I do not know. I do not check. I don't keep up with it that much. But yeah, I do like the series. It is a series that I am very fond of, but I do not keep up with it that much. It's something that I kind of forget about. Like I occasionally remember it, and then I'll be like, oh my god, yeah, that's right. That's a series that I really liked. That's actually how it is with a lot of series for me. I like kind of start them, but then if I know that they're never going to be finished or it's going to take them a long time to be finished, I just kind of forget about them and that sort of thing. Just because I don't like it when stuff is left unfinished. I like it when stuff is completed. Base favorite characters, Yuki Sensei. Thank you. Yeah, Kurapika is probably, if I had to pick one, it'd be Kurapika. If I had to pick a second one, it'd probably be Crollo. Especially in the most recent arc of the manga, I definitely do like that Crollo does come back as well. I really wanted to see a kind of rematch between Crollo and Kurapika, because they're both on the boat. But who knows? We'll probably never see it. If it was leaked, then I don't know. I try to avoid spoilers for when I actually get around to watching or reading this stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm trying to think of what other series that I'm currently keeping up with. I feel like I do keep up with a lot of them. I read a lot of more niche manga. I don't really read I did see My Hero Academia also ended. Great dynamic. Yes, I absolutely love the dynamic between them. It's very interesting. Yeah, I did see My Hero ended recently, and I heard that spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't read it. I mean, it's all over Twitter, so if you guys don't want me to spoil it, just mute the stream for a second. Yeah, I guess Deku becomes a teacher or something like that. Interesting way to go for the ending of it. Did you watch Beastars? Yes, I did actually. The manga's concluded, if I remember correctly as well, right? But yeah, I did watch the first two seasons. I actually really liked the opening, both of the openings for that series. Very, very good. Very interesting. I guess it kind of reminds me of like a more adult Zootopia. I guess is the easiest way I could put Beastars. Interesting ending, actually. Yeah, I did see that it did end. I might have skimmed through the ending. Sometimes when it's a series that I'm not super invested in, I kind of skim through it, but I kind of skim through the endings. But yeah, I did see the first two seasons of that. The opening and endings are very good. Honestly, not too much to say about it. Honestly, it's adult Zootopia. That's easiest way. That sums up my my entire feelings of it. Pretty much. I guess when it came to Beastars, I guess my biggest trouble for that series is I had a little bit of difficulty really, I guess, connecting with some of the characters. I guess I liked Legoshi a bit. But yeah, I had a little bit of difficulty connecting with some of the characters. Is very slice of lifey, I guess, in that sense. But you know, later there's like a bunch of other stuff that goes down in the manga, and it's like kind of crazy. But yeah, I can't really remember it too well. It's been a while since I've actually read the manga and watched the show. So honestly, don't quiz me too much on it. It's kind of a blur. I vaguely remember it, but that's about it. I'm trying to think of what other shows I'm currently watching. I guess right now I'm actually watching quite a bit. I've been trying to keep up with shows and that sort of thing. I've been watching Alia Makaine, which is another amazing show as well. I love Louis so much. I can give a presentation on him. I do remember him as well. Yeah, he was. I don't know. I always kind of liked Legoshi. So whenever it came to Louis, I always thought he was like kind of annoying. Trying to think. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember it. Fuck. There's a character dynamic that's like very similar between Legoshi and another character for another series, but I cannot fucking remember, bro. Give me a second, guys. Just give me like, give me a minute. Let me think. Oh my god, what is it? I literally watched a show recently that has a very similar what is it called? Character dynamic between the two. Can't fucking remember. Oh my god. What? Hold on. I'm thinking. Is it a show that I've watched recently? I feel like it might be. Is it? My god, this is gonna bug me, guys. This is literally gonna bug me forever. Hold on. Let me pull up my anime. This is literally gonna drive me insane if I don't figure it out. Because I remember I was watching a show recently. I was like, oh my god, their dynamic is so similar to Beastars. I mean, it is a very similar archetype. It is kind of just the similar archetype where it's like you have the main protagonist and then you have are the animals too? I don't think so. No, it's a different show. But you definitely do have I feel like it's not that crazy, but I don't know. Recently I saw it and I was like, that kind of reminds me of it. But it is a very typical genre archetype of like the main character, the main protagonist, and then kind of the other character who's kind of likes the main protagonist but kind of doesn't, kind of hates them at the same time. So yeah, it is what it is. If I remember it at some point, I'll try and remember to talk about it on stream again, but right now, for the life of me, I cannot remember. I'm scrolling through my anime list right now, but I don't remember. It might have been an older show, because sometimes I occasionally go back and rewatch older shows. Yeah, I occasionally go back and rewatch older shows, but Alia, yes, I am watching Alia currently. The first couple episodes were really strong. I don't know what the fuck happened in the most recent couple episodes. I feel like it's really been boring. The animation though is amazing. Animation is very pretty. I like that the endings they change the endings up all the time too. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, Alia I have been watching every week. Makaine as well is one that I've been watching as well every week. I think it's so hilarious. If you guys want just a funny show, I highly recommend that one. I've been watching 2.5 Dimensional Seduction as well. Very, very good show. Also, I've been watching Shoshimin. Shoshimin is done by the same author as Hyoka, if I remember correctly. And Hyoka is one of my favorite shows of all time. I feel like Hyoka, I probably revisit it at least a couple times a year, and I rewatch it very, very often. Like I've said this previously before, Hyoka is, if I had to pick like one show that I could only watch for like the rest of my life, I guess it'd be Hyoka. But I have been watching Shoshimin, and I don't know, dude. Shoshimin, I just can't get attached to the characters. It's done by, I feel like it has hints of it, but I would rather just be watching Hyoka or reading Hyoka, because Hyoka, if you guys did not know, is a novel series as well as Shoshimin, done by the same author. But it kind of gives me the vibe of like Hyoka Hyoka is something that will never ever be finished, and I just have to accept that. It'll never be done. It'll always be ongoing. And Shoshimin Shoshimin is just kind of like the spiritual successor to Hyoka, even though Hyoka was never finished in the first place. But yeah, I tried watching Shoshimin. The mysteries are like semi-engaging, kind of, but I just have a really hard time connecting with the characters in that show. But especially when you compare it to the cast of Hyoka, where I feel like the characters are so easy to connect with and get invested in, at least for me. But yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag. I still watch it. I'll still watch it because it does kind of give me Hyoka vibes, but I don't keep up with it, or I might drop it. I may not keep up with it. Also, another one that I've been watching recently was Senpai wa Oto Konoko. Oto Konoko is another series, very, very good. Very funny. I think it's very cute. The opening is very, very great as well. It tackles a lot of interesting themes of like identity and like being yourself and that sort of thing. And I think it's just a overall pretty uplifting show, and I think it's pretty good. It's done by Project 9 animation studio, which I'm surprised by because I feel like Project 9, they did another series that I really enjoyed, the light novel for, which is Otonari no Tenshi-sama. I really enjoyed Tenchi light novel, but I absolutely despise the anime, and for some reason, like the animation just didn't look very good, and just the way it was adapted, I didn't really like it compared to the light novel. But yeah, when it comes to what is it? When it comes to like Project 9, Senpai is an Otonoko no. It looks way better than Tenchi did, so I would highly recommend that show if you guys are interested. Very, very good. I'm just also looking at my anime list to see what else I'm watching. I feel like when the season started, I started a lot of different shows, but I kind of essentially what shows I tune in every week to, like it really does drop off over the season and that sort of thing, to where I just kind of branch out and just watch a bunch of other shows. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. We kind of got off topic when it came to horror stuff. We just kind of ended up talking about anime. But yeah, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? While I'm on vacation though, guys, what I will be doing a lot of is I will be playing a lot of gacha games. I've been recently trying to play Fate more. I am a huge Fate fan. I occasionally talk about it. I absolutely love Fate. Fate is one of my favorite series in general. It's super lore. The lore is super rich. The gacha game itself, FGO, is very, very shitty. I would never recommend anyone to play it unless you're interested in history and you're like a history buff and kind of a history nerd like I am, where I'm very interested in history and that sort of thing, and like kind of fairy tales, mythology, that sort of thing. But yeah, when it comes to FGO, I've been playing it a lot more recently. But I have trying to think. I'm trying to roll for Castoria because I know they're coming back pretty soon, but I don't know Fate watching order. That's one of the things that like. Okay, so like this is gonna be a little bit of a tangent, a little bit of a rant. Like as a Fate fan, as someone who is very invested in the franchise and has been invested in the franchise for a very long time, because I played the visual novel. I played the visual novel for both Tsukihime and Fate Stay Night a long time ago. Oh yeah, it was a while ago. It was a long time ago. But yeah, I've been into the Fate franchise for a very, very long time. As like a veteran in the franchise, whenever people say like, oh, I don't know what watching order, and like people try and make it more confusing than it actually is. In reality, it does not matter. It doesn't matter what watch order you watch it in. Tsukihime is part of Fate. Yes, it is a part of the greater Fate lore is called the Natsu-verse. And there's there are a bunch of different games that are tied to it. Tsukihime was actually the first game to come out in the Natsu-verse, I believe. Was the first visual novel, I think. The first visual novel to come out as part of the Fate Natsu-verse. So Tsukihime, there's another one that's also tied to it called Mahotsukai no Yoru, which is another visual novel. I don't remember, that might have been based off of a light novel first and then became a game or visual novel. But yes, Tsukihime, Mahotsukai no Yoru, Kara no Kyokai, all of those are part of the greater Fate universe, and they're all somewhat connected to each other in one way or another. There are a lot of different spin-offs for the Fate franchise. But yeah, whenever people say you need to watch it in a specific order or say that the order is very confusing, it honestly doesn't really matter, I think. For me, I started, I think, with, it was either Stay Night or Tsukihime. I think it was Tsukihime. I started with Tsukihime, then I went on to Fate, because then I found out that Tsukihime was part of the Fate franchise. And then I kind of got woven in through there, and so it's like my entire journey with it has been very, it hasn't been like, oh, this one. And the thing about it too is if you're emotionally invested in the characters enough, I don't think it will quote unquote spoil anything. If you really like Fate Zero and it's something that, if you really like Fate Zero and you really love the characters in it, I feel like watching Stay Night isn't going to, after Fate Zero, is not going to necessarily ruin your experience for it, and vice versa. If you really like Fate Stay Night and you want to see more of the characters and how they got to where they were in Stay Night, I don't think watching Zero is going to necessarily ruin it for like you anyway. So I feel like that's kind of a misconception that a lot of people make kind of blow out of proportion a little bit. It is convoluted, don't get me wrong. When you're trying to explain it, it's really difficult. But if you're even a little bit interested in the Fate franchise, just jump in, just pick one of the things that looks kind of interesting to you and just jump off from there and have a good time. I'm a huge history buff. I love learning about history was one of my favorite subjects and in both uni and school. So I absolutely love history. So for me, Fate is always, even though Fate does take a lot of creative liberties with that, of course, I've always been a big fan of that, of those sort of thing, of that stuff. So for me, Fate was always a very good or very interesting series for me. But yeah, if you're even a little bit interested, just dive in, have fun, and see how it goes. Estella, welcome in. Welcome. We're just kind of chatting. No specific topic. Earlier we were talking about horror and horror as a genre and kind of how I got into horror as a genre and what was my gateway and my gateways and that sort of thing. And now we're just kind of talking about random shows here and there. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. I already went over the schedule and stuff in the beginning of the stream. We were kind of talking about I was talking about the what will be coming out during the 2 weeks that I'm gone. But yeah, also another game that I've been playing a lot of recently is what is it? Blue Archive. Yes, I've been playing a lot of Blue Archive. It's one of my probably one of my favorite games recently. I still play Honkai Star Rail and I've actually been playing Wuthering Waves quite a bit as well as Genshin. So I am an avid gacha enthusiast, even though like I say, I don't really talk about it too much on stream because I try and keep this channel primarily revolved around horror stuff. Whenever we do Zatsus and stuff like that, I don't mind branching out and talking about other stuff that I do enjoy. But I do try and keep the channel primarily focused on horror, because I know that for the most part you guys aren't necessarily subscribed or watching or to necessarily hear my opinions on gacha games, because I'm sure like a lot of other people give their opinions on the types of games that they play and that sort of thing. I do play a lot of other stuff as well, other than just horror games. But yeah, I do try and keep the channel focused on one specific genre. But yeah, it has cute characters. Yes, that's like the character designs and the live 2D is what got me playing it, and it's actually pretty generous, I'd say. Definitely, it's definitely a breath of fresh air. Oh my god, why can I not speak? It's definitely a very good breath of fresh air when it comes to when you compare that to Fate. Fate is notorious for having an awful system, pity system, and that sort of thing. And I would like to say it's gotten better, but it's very debatable on whether or not it has. But yes. Trying to think, is there anything else I was going to talk about? Can't even remember. Yeah, like I said, guys, previously though, feel free to ask any questions. I feel like whenever I run out of stuff to talk about, I'm just kind of like trying to think of what else to go for. Because I honestly, yeah, I don't know. I guess that we can talk about some analog horror series that I am pretty interested to watch once I'm back. I am really excited to continue Monument Mythos. Monument Mythos is another one of those where it's kind of like I guess I wouldn't say cosmic horror, but definitely kind of like crazy interesting horror. I'm definitely excited to go back to Monument Mythos once I get back. As well as Walton Files. I tried doing a little bit more research on Walton Files just to try and understand it a little bit better, but it's not very easy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Walton Files is very difficult to remember. I'd also like to watch other type of gameplays instead of horror. Yeah, I'm definitely, like I say, it's been very difficult recently because I've been so busy with stuff. I do want to stream on Twitch, a little bit more variety stuff here and there. But I've just been so busy recently that it's been the Twitch channel has been pretty neglected. But yeah, I do play a lot of quite a few other gacha games instead of just horror. There's another game that I kind of wanted to play recently that is kind of horror adjacent. It's called Lobotomy something. Lobotomy Corporation. It's kind of a horror game. It looks very interesting though, but I kind of want to try that out at some point. I know that it's like kind of SCP inspired or something like that. I don't know what kind of game it is, but I do definitely want to check it out at some point in the near future. That would probably be something that I might cover on the channel, on this channel, not on Twitch, but because it is kind of horror adjacent. But I do know the it is done by the same developer as Limbus Company and what's the other one? Library of Ruina. Yes, it is done by the same people as the same developer as those two games. So the fact that there is kind of a horror adjacent game that is out there by that studio, I'm very interested in. I would absolutely love to check it out as well. I think one of the reasons why I love Fate so much as well is when it came to Tsukihime anyway, is that it was kind of horror adjacent. It was very it has like vampires in it and that sort of thing, and it's like Fate and the Nasu verse as a whole is very modern fantasy. You have two different types of fantasy. You have like the more traditional fantasy where it's like the isekai type fantasy where it's like adventures guild, castles, princesses, dragons, what else? Just like kind of like that sort of fantasy. Joyce, welcome in. Welcome. We're just kind of chatting right now, and feel free to ask any questions. No specific topic that we're talking about right now. But yeah, when I think back on like one of my gateways as well into the horror genre as a whole is definitely as well Tsukihime, because it is very horror adjacent, I think I would say. It's like kind of a mystery, but it definitely has some horror aspects to it as well. And I thought it was very Tsukihime also has a remake that I do own, that I have played. Super great. I would love to cover that at some point in the future as well, because I absolutely love visual novels. Visual novels are one of my favorite things to play in my spare time. But yeah, because I am a huge bookworm. I read a lot of books as well. Other than just, I read a lot of horror books as well. I feel like horror books are also very fun to read as well. But yeah, when it comes to like just visual novels are like kind of the middle ground for me, because it's like I like reading normally. So it's like it's reading plus there's visuals, so and voice acting as well. So I think that those are a lot of fun. There are a lot of great horror visual novels as well, but a lot of them are not safe to play on YouTube or Twitch for obvious reasons. Song of Saya is one that I do own, that I have played. That is very disturbing, very creepy, very horror. The horror is definitely there in that one, but unfortunately I could never play that on YouTube. Can you recommend a good horror book for me? There are a lot of different ones that I could recommend. It depends. What kind of genre of horror book would you be interested in? Would you be looking for more kind of classic horror, more along the lines of I guess like Frankenstein, like the older ones, like the very old books that are classics. Bram Stoker's Dracula is another one as well. As well as, or are you looking for kind of more of the 80s type of horror books? There's also It. There are a lot of the older Stephen King horror novels are great as well. There's It. There's Pet Sematary. There's a plethora. There's so many. Are you looking for something more like psychological horror based? There's one that I read a while ago. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you running the train. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you to or make sure to everyone, if you are currently watching, make sure to thank running the train. But yeah, when I think of yes, thank you. I'm trying to think though. There's another one that I read a long time ago, back when I was in high school, I think. It was either middle school or high school. It's Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis. It's a short story, but it's very short, very interesting though. It's more of like the fear of like becoming something, like the fear of like waking up one day and like becoming something you're not. There's too many options you choose. I mean, I could recommend quite a few. One of my favorite classic horror novels that I do come back and reread quite often is Frankenstein. I think Frankenstein is I guess it's like the time that it was set in. Like when it comes, I guess maybe I'm just a sucker for like the Victorian era type of stuff. That's why I like the original Black Butler series so much, is the Victorian style of it. But yeah, I would highly recommend that one. It is a classic. It is a bit, but it is one that I revisit semi often. I think it's an amazing older novel, older book. And if you definitely like that kind of older Victorian style kind of aesthetic, and the way it's like written and stuff, then I'd recommend that one as well. As well as if you're kind of more into the thalassophobia, like if you're kind of interested into like thalassophobia and that sort of thing, I'd also recommend 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as well. That's another really good one. I am thy creature, I ought to be thy Adam. Oh, I didn't like Metamorphosis. I actually really like that one. I don't know if it's because I didn't understand it or what. Never caught my attention. I actually did really like Metamorphosis. It was one of my favorite like I guess like psychological books growing up. By Franz Kafka. Yeah, it is. I own it. I do own an actual physical copy of it. A lot of books that I read nowadays are digital, but that is one of the ones that I do own. A physical copy of. Do you read Poe's work? I used to a long time ago. Back in like I think middle school. I think I did read quite a bit of Poe's work. But yeah, I guess not too much though. Not too much nowadays. Honestly, nowadays I don't even really read that much that many horror books, if I'm being honest. A lot of the ones that I have read, usually I just end up rereading ones that I've already read. But yeah, I did read I'll definitely read it, one of them. But yeah, The Trial is also good, also by Kafka. Yes. But yeah, when it comes to Poe, I did read them quite a while ago. I don't really remember too many of them. But yeah, his work is very infamous as well. But yeah, that's also definitely that's Edgar Allan Poe is definitely something you could also check out as well if you're interested in kind of horror, the horror genre when it comes to books. There is no shortage of very good horror books. It just depends on what your tastes are. I feel like asking like what your books to recommend is always a little difficult. Is a little difficult because it just depends on your taste. If a book doesn't really captivate me too much, I just won't continue reading it. Because like I said, I really enjoyed Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, but Leah Dreams, it was not really for them. It's very subjective. Your taste for books is very, very subjective. As well as you read The Devil All the Time. It is a really good book. I do not recognize that one. Hold on, guys. I think I hear. Hold on, I thought I heard an alarm going off or something. Hold on. Oh, never mind. I thought I heard an alarm going off or something. It does look like The Devil All the Time is a movie though, that stars Tom Holland, everyone's favorite Spider-Man. I lean more towards fantasy. I mean, there's definitely no shortage of great fantasy books as well. Definitely a lot. I guess if you want more modern fantasy, I definitely recommend Rezero. There are quite a few volumes for the light novel as well. Rezero is one of my favorite fantasy anime / light novels. I do own almost all of the all of the volumes. The movie sucks. Ooh, that's depressing. But yeah, I have not read this one. But yeah, when it comes to horror novels, I've read I used to read a lot when I was younger. I feel like I don't really read as much anymore just because I don't have as much time as I used to. And when I do have time, I just end up rereading the ones that I was originally interested in the first place, or the ones that I originally started reading. But I'm trying to think. I like a lot of older stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm an old boomer. Oh man. Who's the best girl? And in Rezero? Emilia. And don't at me. Don't get mad at me. If you guys have any other best girl, you're wrong. You guys are wrong. Emilia's the best one. But yeah, when it comes to light novels, I really like fantasy light novels anyway. I really like ReZero. I feel like the lore is so expansive in that one. It's very, very deep lore. But if you like fantasy, give Fate a try, because Fate is modern fantasy. But yeah, ReZero has a lot of light novels. The lore is super expansive. ReZero, I tried getting into the lore, and it's like, dude, I need like a, you know how they have Tolkien scholars for like Lord of the Rings and stuff? I feel like I need for both Nasu and Tape, who is the creator of ReZero. I feel like I need to be a scholar in both of them in order to understand some of the stuff in it, because it's just so expansive. They're really great at expanding the storytelling for it. I'm not too familiar with fantasy novels though. Usually what happens is when it comes to fantasy novels, I guess like light novels anyway, I usually, if I watch a show and it's kind of interesting to me, I'll then pick up the light novel and start reading it. Not base you sensei, rare not based opinion. No, it is, my opinion is so based, you guys are just wrong. My taste is the right one. You guys are just the wrong ones in this case. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but no. When it comes to but like I was kind of talking about this with some of my friends, and I think I've talked about it before on stream too, is I have a type when it comes to anime girls, and all of them are white-haired anime girls when it comes to my type. So I think that's usually just how it is. It's actually my birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Joyce. Hope you have a great birthday. Hope you're having a great birthday. But yeah, when it comes to my type for anime girls, it's always the same type. It's always the white-haired anime girls, because I like Ayaka, I like Jinshi from I like Firefly, I like who else? Emilia, obviously. Trying to think. There's so many, I just can't even remember them all. I had like a bunch of pictures saved of them. Let me go through them. Trying to remember. I might have deleted them. No! Alina from Wandering Witch Alina as well. I can't take Amelia at all. Have you not seen season 2? I feel like Amelia is so much better in season 2. Yeah, don't say Rem. If you guys say Rem, then you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. I'm sorry. And you guys have bad taste if you say Rem. You just want someone to fawn over you. Oh man. The dark-skinned muscle girls are my type. Let's go. I like Rem. No, not Rem. You guys are just simps. You guys just want someone to fawn over you and just only not want you to improve. Come on, man. God. Yeah, no. Rem is an L choice. Rem is so bad. Rem based. No, Rem is not based. Rem is bad. Rem is essentially written out of the story too, so even Tape doesn't like her that much. Come on, guys. Oh, come on, man. Nah. She's essentially just gone, bro. I do think currently in the light novel she might be back though, if I'm remembering correctly. I think she just has a memory loss, but yeah, no, Rem is not a base choice. I'm sorry. He loves us and we love her. No, you guys are just simps. You guys just like simping. Ram is better. Yeah, honestly, I would honestly pick Ram over Rem. Rare not based opinion. It's not. No, it's my opinion is based. Your guys' opinions are not based. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. My opinions are the right ones, and your guys' opinions are the wrong ones. But running the train gets it. Ram is better. I prefer. I don't know, dude. Just something about Rem. Just I can't take it. I'm trying to think of who else. Who else is waifu material in ReZero? You guys see that the new season's coming out? I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a fun time. Trying to think who else. Actually, Enkidona is also acceptable, or Satella as well. If you guys are If you guys are gonna roast Amelia, then I'll just pick Satella. But yeah, I also like Enkidonna as well, but she is not she's essentially not that important, I guess. Rem is too toxic. Nice. Yeah, she's so she's just a simp. But yeah, it just sucks though that Enkidonna is no longer going to be as prominent in the series, at least for the foreseeable future. Because I really did like her character a lot. She was really interesting. But yeah, if you guys don't like my taste for Amelia, then I'll just pick Satella and we can call it even. Who else? Actually, I really like Julius as well. If we're talking about like husbandos, Julius and Reinhardt are like top tier creme of the crop husbandos for me. Maybe this is a she just really likes someone. Is that so bad? I don't know. I just didn't really feel for her like character when season 1 came out. Maybe it was just because it was overhyped to me that by the time I finally got around to it, I was just like, what's the hype? Why does everyone losing their minds over this maid girl for? But yeah, I like Reinhardt a lot. He's just like, I don't know. Reinhardt is just like the type of dude that you bring home to the family, you know? He's just so he's so nice. Julius, I like him because he's like kind of a little bitch. He's like a little shit, and he's like on the surface he'll act super nice to you and like act super formal to you, but it's just a front. Reinhardt, okay, I accept this one. Yeah, Reinhardt he's just like nice guy.exe. Like there's nothing wrong with him. He's like Shiro, or maybe not like Shiro, but from Fate, but he's a hero of justice, you know. And I think he's just a solid dude. I guess if I had to pick Julius or Reinhardt, I guess I'd probably pick Reinhardt over Julius, I want to say. But Reinhardt is so Ikemen. Yeah, he's really Ikemen. What would Felix be? A waifu or a husbando? Why not both? It's like asking what a Stolfo is. But yeah, I really like Reinhardt. I know in this season he's gonna have a much bigger role, which I'm excited about, but I don't know if the other arcs, if he's as big of a role. Because I'm gonna tell you what, guys, I cannot stand fucking Subaru. He is one of my least favorite fucking characters in this entire show, and it's like even when he gets better, I feel like he's still annoying as shit to me. But yeah, I just cannot, for some reason, guys, I just don't know why. I absolutely despise Subaru. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's like his eyes that piss me off or if it's just his attitude or what, but, and it's like, I can sympathize with him. Like there's a lot of times where he struggled. Like I do sympathize with his struggle throughout the series, but it's like, he gets better, but he doesn't at the same time. And that's what like pisses me off so much, is that I want like, I don't know. It's kind of giving me like Shinji Ikari vibes sort of deal, where it's like they get better, but it's like they're still kind of annoying to me. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just his stupid fucking tracksuit that he never changes, that he still hasn't changed. And at this point, it's supposed to be like what, a hot minute since he's been in Lagunica. I think that's what the world is called. Yeah, I cannot fucking I can't stand it. Cannot stand him. I'd much rather Reinhardt be the protagonist. Oh man, I just want an entire series about Reinhardt because he's honestly my favorite character. Favorite boy character, I guess I should say. I guess I shouldn't say my favorite character. That's still Amelia, and I'll die on the hill, guys. You guys can burn me at the stake for it, like Jeanne d'Arc, but I'm still gonna say it. I want to shake him like a rattle drum affectionately. I just hate his stupid fucking tracksuit, guys. It's so dumb. His tracksuit annoys the fuck out of me for some reason. I don't know why. Like I don't know. And the thing about it too that pisses me off is that like I get that he dies over and over again. Like he dies over and over again and shit, and that's what his arc is like him getting over it and stuff. But it's like it like kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It pisses me off when he gets his way. When things go right, like I like it when Subaru's not getting his way, but whenever he gets his way, like I kind of appreciate it, but then he goes back to being a fucking bumbling idiot. And then I feel like I want to take that shit right back, you know? I want the fucking author to take it right back away from him, because it's just like, I don't know. He goes back to being like a bumbling buffoon. Reinhardt is too bland to be the protagonist? I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I mean, I guess even Julius would make an interesting protagonist, but I feel like Reinhardt, the reason why I think he would make an interesting protagonist, or maybe not for this story, but maybe for another one, is that it's like, for Reinhardt, I feel like Reinhardt is, what's the word? I feel like characters that are so morally like self-justice, like self-righteous is the right word for it. It's always interesting to see them like deal with things that are not easy for them to comprehend, or for them to or not for them to comprehend, but they have to deal with more things that are morally gray and not as black and white as because usually the morally upright characters are very, very like black and white. And I feel like characters, this is why I say this is one of the things why I like Fate as well, is that you have a lot of characters that start off very like Reinhardt, very black and white morality wise, where it's like things are this is bad, this is good, but then their characters are tested. The characters go through a lot of the characters have to go through a lot of change for them to not necessarily see things as black and white and see them as more gray. And I think that's always a little bit more interesting. Subaru's just an annoying dude that got isekai'd, and just, I don't know, just something about him just doesn't work for me. Maybe if he learned to be a little bit more humble or just something, like I don't know. I feel like the story tells me he's gotten more humble, but I don't see that he's gotten more humble, if you guys get what I mean. Just something about it, just, I don't know. Like, you guys want to sit here and dog on Amelia, but it's like, at least Amelia has a reason for why she is the way she is. If you guys have seen season 2, I recently rewatched season 2 a little while ago, in preparation for season 3, and her backstory, like, where like her lore is so sad. I honestly like tear up a little bit. He's so flawed, it's good. If you guys say so, but I don't know. He's flawed, but he doesn't get any better. That's like saying Shinji Ikari is flawed, that's why he's good. And it's like, no, everyone still fucking memes and hates on him to high hell. Oh, man. Oh, God, I just can't stand Subaru. I just can't do it. But, yeah, when it comes to, when it comes to ReZero, it is a series that I really enjoy. I really do like it a lot. Subaru is like a nagging child. Yeah, he is so annoying. I can't stand him. That's the point. That's a shitty point. You guys can't say like that's the point when it's a bad point. Hey, I love Shinji. Oh my god, I love Evangelion too, but I would never say I love Shinji. Oh man. Woo. Oh god. I feel like most of the characters in Evangelion are kind of hard to love. Even though I love that series as well. That's one of my another one of my favorite series of all time. But yeah, I don't know if I could ever say that I love I love Shinji. That's a little bit of a, just saying that sounds doesn't sit right with me, you know. But yeah, guys, when it comes to ReZero, I'm excited for season 3 though. Even though Subaru's annoying, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to delve into the season 3 of it, just because we get more Reinhardt, and that's never a bad thing for me. Trying to think, are there any other characters? I really like the OG-san from so like, hear me out, guys. Wilhelm, the Wilhelm guy, I absolutely love him. He's Reinhardt's grandfather, right? And I fucking love him. World making fun of us? I'm not making fun of you guys. You guys do it yourselves. Oh man. But yeah, I really like Wilhelm. I don't know why. I'm usually not into like the OG sans, right? Usually OG sans are not my type when it comes to dude characters, but for some reason he's just like he's like so cool. He's so suave. He's just like a butler. I hate Shinji more than Subaru. Respect, yes, respect. At least Subaru has some redeeming qualities, though few. Shinji, I would argue, has next to none. So, that is if you're comparing original Evangelion Shinji to rebuild Shinji. I feel like rebuild Shinji is a little bit more of your average protagonist. But yeah, if you're comparing just original Neon Genesis Shinji, yeah, no way, guys, no way. There's no way he would pass the protagonist test. But yeah, getting back to ReZero though, I really like Wilhelm. I really like him a lot. He's I don't know why. He's just cool. He's just so cool. There's actually a manga, guys. If you guys haven't seen it, there is a manga that like I think tells the story of Wilhelm or something like that when he was young. I think. Let me double check. Let me fact check myself to make sure I'm not wrong. But I'm pretty sure there's a prequel manga for Wilhelm, and it was like kind of how he met the previous Sword Saint or whatever. Okay. I'm checking. Yeah, there is. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, Wilhelm used to be hot, guys. He was so hot. Holy shit. Oh my god. Sebastian of Black Butler is hot. Maybe OG Sebastian, not whatever monster face current Sebastian is. I do not think he is hot. But guys, if you've seen Wilhelm, like look him up. Look, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll put it up. I'll put it up for you guys. I'll save it and I'll put it up for you guys. Hopefully potentially Kadokawa doesn't get mad at me for showing, but I think it's fine. I think it's all right. I think it's fine. Like, look at this dude, bro. Look at him. He is so hot. This is the old OG-san, guys. Look at him. Isn't he hot? I'm sorry, bro, but honestly, we need our own anime spin-off of just Reinhardt's grandfather, bro. And maybe like that's what subconsciously makes me think that he's like attractive as fuck, is because it's like he's like an older dude who used to be like super hot, but now he's like more aged, you know? It's like a dry aged steak. Like, look at this dude. He's so hot. He's dreamy as fuck. But yeah, I would absolutely love a series based on him. He's so cool. But I mean, what do you expect? It's Reinhardt's grandfather. So honestly, you kind of expect it, right? Also, this is also a light novel as well. Fine Wine, right? Fine Wine, bro. He is so hot. He is one good-looking dude. I would simp. Or I do simp. Ooh, I'd make a joke, but say so stream. Long hair is always me. Welcome in, Jisoo. Welcome. Long hair always gets me, right? He has like that ponytail shit. Is so good. Highly recommend it if you guys are interested in ReZero, and especially like the other characters in it. I think there is a manga for it, but I don't know if it's finished. It might be, but there's also a light novel for it as well. But yeah, it's so good. He's so good. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm so excited for season 3. You have no idea. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be good. I know Oshinoko season 2 is out right now, but honestly, I keep up with the manga, so I feel no need to watch the show. I don't know why. I just don't really feel like it. I know that the opening is really good for season 2 of Oshinoko, but I just have not been keeping up. Yeah, it is what it is. I'll probably binge it when it's close to being done. Keem, welcome in. Welcome. What's up, Peking Duck? Peking Duck is amazing. That is so good. Trying to think. Yeah, that's thinking about ReZero though. It's like, oh my god, I actually love that series. I feel like I always get into it a lot whenever there's a new season, but there's so much time in between. What's your favorite type of genre to watch? What kind of genre are we talking about? Are we talking about anime? Are we talking about live action? Are we talking about just like types of genre, like horror, fantasy, any of that sort of thing? Yeah, there's a lot of different genres. I feel like I pretty much watch whatever, but if we're talking just overall genre, anime. I guess anime I prefer. I'm a hopeless romantic, guys. If I say it all the time, I'm a hopeless romantic. I absolutely love romance manga. So shoujo how do I speak? Shoujo manga, shoujo anime, as well as just any type of romance anime in general is some of my favorite stuff to consume. Yeah, I love the slice of life. I love the angst. I love it when it hits me in the heart, and I start getting like the butterflies in my stomach. You know, that's when I know that a romance show and or a manga is at its peak for me. Subaru is tolerable in the manga. I mean, I feel like he's about the same, honestly. I gotta go, but thank you for the stream. Thank you for stopping by, Estella. Hope you have an amazing break. Thank you. I hope you guys will enjoy the future content coming out as well. But yeah, I've said it before, said it so many times. I absolutely love slice of lifey romance stuff. I feel like it's pretty rare for me to real. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I feel like I love listening to like sad songs, like sad or kind of like romantic songs while I'm reading through romance manga. In anime, I love rom-coms. Toradora, best ever. Yes, Toradora is so good. Toradora is one of my favorites. I absolutely love Toradora. That was one of my gateway ones as well. One of the first ones that I watched for when it came to romance shows. Hyoka is not a romance show, but I love the aesthetic of it, and I like Chitanda and Oreki. They are a couple. You guys can't change my mind. You guys, I will die on the hill. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin is a great cozy anime, and it recently got an anime. But in my opinion, the game is better. Interesting. Let me actually check that one out. I don't know why, but I'm surprised you like romance. I don't know why that's so surprising. I feel like I do watch a lot of horror stuff, or we do cover horror on the channel a lot. But yeah, I do. I absolutely love romance. Most of the fan fiction that I read is usually romance. Did you ever watch one of the Studio Ghibli films? Of course. I grew up on Studio Ghibli. Of course, pretty much like every Asian kid. I did grow up on Studio Ghibli. My favorite one growing up as a child was Mononoke Hime. Was my favorite one when I was growing up. As I've gotten older, there's actually another one that is not too well known that I actually revisit quite often as an adult, which is Ocean Waves. It's a slice of lifey romance one, so go figure. But yeah, if you are interested in slice of lifey romance stuff, I would definitely recommend checking that one out. It is very interesting to see the aesthetic of Studio Ghibli, but told a very surprisingly calming slice of life story for it. But yes, I do. Mononoke Hime was my favorite as a child, though, and it still probably is. it's a romance, but I recommend Sakuna if you really like family stories. Ooh, interesting, interesting. I love how often boys like shoujo and girls like shonen. I mean, I like everything. Don't get me wrong. I do love shonen as well. Pretty much, if it's well written and it's interesting, I will consume it. But yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do gear towards more romance manga. Not really anime as much. I do watch it occasionally, but usually most of the anime romance anime that gets adapted is usually from a manga, and I've already read it, so I feel a little less inclined to watch the show. My next favorites are the hack animes. Yes. Those are classics. I love Castle in the Sky Castle in the Sky. Yes, Castle in the Sky is another amazing one as well. Yeah, Mononoke Hime / Spirited Away and Howls are my favorite. Yes. I used to have a VHS of Mononoke Hime that I used to wear out to no end, as well as Howl's Moving Castle. If I had to pick one for my favorite, like if I had to pick one for my favorite, or my second favorite, it would probably be, if we're not picking Ocean Waves, kind of just the more typical Ghibli films, I would probably say Howl is probably my second favorite, and then Spirited Away. That Kaguya movie messed me up though, as a kid, cried so hard at the end of that one. Yes, it is very, very emotional movie. I did watch that a while ago as well. Super great though. But let me actually check out the Sakura of Rice and Ruin. Oh yes, I did see this. I did see this recently. I did see the game for this as well. So yeah. But yeah, when it comes to shonen, when Marley was there, there's definitely definitely my top favorite. Let's go. I used to only read shonen because I was at that rejecting phase of my life. Now I'm in the accepting stage. Yeah, for me, it doesn't really matter what it is. Like, I feel like I read a lot of different things. There's not like one specific. I guess if I like the one specific genre that I always read is romance, but I can't really think. Amazing art, but kicks you in the feels. Oof. There's another one that I read that was originally a visual novel, or I guess it was a game. Hold on, let me find it. Utawareru Mono is another one that kind of reminds me of Sakuna, but a little bit more mature than Sakuna, I guess. Yeah, but Utawareru Mono is another one as well that is kind of fantasy-esque, more traditional Japanese for sure. But yeah, I like both shonen and shoujo. It depends on how good it is. Yeah, it just depends. Also for me, another big factor for me is art style. If something has an art style that I'm not really interested in, I will not watch it or read it. There are a couple exceptions to that. Tokyo Revengers was an exception. I didn't really like the art style for Tokyo Revengers, but I absolutely loved the story for it. The ending was shit though, don't at me. Yeah, I absolutely loved Tokyo Revengers story, even though I wasn't a huge fan of the art for it. But yeah, usually if something has really nice art, even if the story isn't super great, I will read it as well, because I'm a sucker for good art. I love seeing pretty art. Some popular things just don't draw me in though. So many people said Attack on Titan was the best thing ever, and I had the best thing ever, and I was so met on it. I think Attack on Titan, it was very I guess like overhyped is maybe not the right word to use. It is very popular though. The ending was very disappointing. Attack on Titan I was pretty invested in up until when it comes to Attack on Titan, what is it? The ending is just what really was not a very good like impression for me. Up until the ending though, I think like season 3 onwards, like I was really hooked into it. Like I thought it was pretty interesting, even though it was just kind of a case of always cop out, like I don't know. Attack on Titan gives you so little in the beginning, so whenever you start getting a little bit of information, it feels like a lot. That's kind of the vibe for Attack on Titan. Has anyone watched Kaiju number 8? I have not watched Kaiju number 8. I do plan on watching it eventually. I just cannot get over how the main guy looks. I hate his stubble. Oh my goodness. I don't think he's cute. Oh man. I think all the other characters in the show look fine. Also, the art style looks a little strange. I did see the manga. I think the manga art style is a little bit better if I remember correctly. But I could be wrong. I read a graphic novel called Curse of the Chosen. Yeah, the Curse of the Chosen. And oh my god, if you find it, please read it. There's 2 volumes. Interesting. I'll definitely take a look. The Attack on Titan ending made me cry. It didn't make me cry. If anything, I just kind of laughed. It's not like a manga graphic novel. The art is more Western style, but yeah, I really suggest it if you like action and fantasy. Ooh, interesting. No, he's cute. He's silly. I just don't think he's cute. I don't know why. I just don't. He's like goofy. He looks goofy. He's like a goofy motherfucker. I don't know why. So when are you reacting to Monument Mythos Season 2? We will be reacting to that once I am back from vacation. This is the last stream before I'm going to be gone for about 2 weeks, for about 13 days. The stream that is up currently, the waiting room, is just a placeholder. That probably will change closer to when I will actually, but that is the day that I will be back. But that is just a placeholder for now for you guys to see when I will be back. So yes, that is just probably I'd say right after I get back from vacation. I don't really like the art style. I'll read Fukumoto Nobuyuki mangas. Let's go. One person's hot is another's not. Yep, exactly. He for me, he's a not. I like the gray-haired boy though. Or is it white-haired? I don't remember. I like him though. He looks okay. But yes, another classic series of manga that I absolutely love. Art style doesn't really matter much to me. For me, it does. Oh yeah, Bleach, 1000-Year Blood War arc. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I've never really gotten into Bleach. I've tried so many times, but I feel like I just can't get into it. You need to watch the Bleach 1000-Year Blood arc. $100! Oh my god, running the train! $100! Buy yourself something nice. Thank you. Hey, yo. Thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you, running the train. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. That means a lot. It definitely supports the channel. Thank you. Reno, yes, Reno, that's his name. But buy yourself something nice. I will. I'll be putting it back into the channel and buying something nice. But yeah, when it comes to Bleach, I've tried watching Bleach so many times, but it's just so hard for me to get into. It's a very long series. Very long running shonen are one of the hardest things for me to keep up with, and for me to like get invested in. I think Hunter x Hunter was one of the very few exceptions for me. But yes, it is very, very difficult. Yeah, same. That's another one. I couldn't get into Bleach. It's also damn. Yeah. Let's go. But yes, another old one is like, if you guys want to talk about older shows, is Rumiko Takahashi, Gremmy versus Kenpachi is the best fight. Let's go. Have you ever gotten into One Piece or Dragon Ball Z? I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. One Piece, unfortunately, I've tried so hard. I like the movie. I like One Piece Red. One Piece though is really difficult for me to get into, unfortunately. Dragon Ball though, I grew up watching Dragon Ball, but I absolutely love Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is great. Dragon Ball is, for me, it's amazing. I used to collect the figures for it. I used to spend a shit ton of money on collecting figures for it. The SH Figuarts figures. I fell out of it because I just couldn't keep up with it anymore. I have way too many things. But yeah, I absolutely love Dragon Ball Z. yeah, it's great. I do watch the movies though when they come out. But yeah, Dragon Ball for me is one of the few shonen that long-running shonen that I do keep up with occasionally. I don't really keep up with the manga for Super as much as I'd like to. There was a time where I was like keeping up with it like religiously, but not really as much anymore. Gremmy ability is visionary, imagination is powerful. You can summon guns and rockets. Oh, interesting. How about Shaman King? Shaman King, I think I remember that one. But also running the train, Nobuyuki Fukumoto. Yeah, he's the one that did Kaiji, I remember. I didn't remember the name, but I remember the series. Shaman King. I think I remember this one as well. Yeah, I've seen it, but I haven't watched it. Favorite character in Dragon Ball Z? Probably Gohan. Yeah, I'd probably say Gohan. I guess I'd either say Gohan or maybe Goku, but I'm probably leaning more towards Gohan. I love Gohan's like Sentai arc in DBZ where he's playing like the Sentai, playing into the Sentai stuff. I thought that was super cute. Also when Gohan was the kind of the protagonist of Dragon Ball Z, it kind of honestly felt a little bit like JoJo's season 4 or arc 4 of JoJo's. That's the one with Diamond Unbreakable, I believe, right? The one with let me make sure I'm not embarrassing myself. Because I'm pretty sure Diamond Unbreakable is arc 4, right? I just remember that Diamond Unbreakable is my favorite. Yeah, 4th arc of JoJo's. Okay, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not fake fanning. I can't tell you why you can't get in. I can't tell you why you can't get into Bleach. Even as a fan, it makes no sense. The power scaling makes no sense. MC can go toe to toe with Captain, then get wrecked by a weakling. Yeah, Bleach. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't. I think it might have been just Ichigo. I just didn't really like his design. But there's a new Shaman King flowers in Yosun is there. Let's go. But yeah, what I really liked about Gohan when he was like kind of the protagonist of Dragon Ball was I liked it when he played what is it called? Oh my god, I'm such a fake fan, guys. I have a figure of it and I can't even remember. Seiya Man, that's what it was. Fuck, I wanted to say Sentai Man, but that wasn't right. Yeah, that's what it was. Gohan was so silly when he was young. I loved his character. Yes, yeah, I absolutely love Gohan. He's probably my favorite Dragon Ball character. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I really like Trunks too. I feel like Trunks is so edgy, and I love that. I really love edgy characters sometimes. Not all the time, but I really like Trunks too. So I don't know. I really like Goku as well. I feel like Goku, Trunks, and Gohan are all kind of very similar to me. So I feel like it's a little difficult for me to pick one of them. Because I remember Trunks's arcs, like his fucking John Connor arcs from like he's Terminator or something, and I think it's so interesting. So I don't know. It's really difficult for me to pick. I kind of ignore the SK sequel because I have my own crossover idea in mind when it comes to Gege. No, Kitaro shows up and kicks Hao's ass. I've been watching a pretty old anime that came out in 2008, Hakuoki Demon of the Fleeting Blossom. Let me actually take a look. Haku... Ichigo. Sorry, typo? No problem. Why he killed any Jujutsu Kaisen characters. Yeah, Future Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku, the goated trio. Yeah, those are probably my 3 favorite characters. A lot of people like Vegeta, but I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Vegeta is just kind of basic for me. I don't know. He doesn't really do it for me. Demon of the Fleeting Blossom. Ooh, this looks interesting. I love older shows like this, where it's like kind of the older aesthetic. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Fushigi Yugi. That is another one that I grew up watching for many years on VHS tapes. Fushigi Yugi is one of my favorite ones, but that's also kind of an older style, kind of more historical, traditional looking art style, and I absolutely love those. But thank you for the suggestion. I will definitely check it out because I absolutely love more historical type shows with the historical aesthetic. This was in the first few seasons. Gege definitely love seeing everyone cry. Jujutsu Kaisen is amazing though. I do love it. Yuta is probably my favorite character in that series. Yeah, I don't know why the other characters, when it comes to like Yuji and Megumi, I don't mind them. I don't think they're bad characters. They don't annoy me. Not to the same extent that Subaru does in Rezero. But I just don't really feel like an emotional connection to them as much. I guess Megumi a little bit more than Itadori. But I love Yuta. I absolutely love Yuta. He's probably my favorite character. I loved the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero anime or movie and manga. Both of them were superb. I like Yamcha and Dragon Ball. Let's go, Yamcha! The meme of him getting blown away. Yeah, Yamcha kind of fell off after Dragon Ball. Yeah, he did. Unfortunately, it's sad. It is what it is, though. Definitely, because we're too busy giving Goku and Vegeta like 15 million different fucking power or different forms. There's Ultra Instinct. There's so many different ones now. Have you ever watched Yu Yu Hakusho? Yes, I have. Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorites. One of my favorite series as well. Very great. I love if you guys have ever heard the romantic theme, if you guys want to know what song I listen to when I'm reading like romance manga and stuff, I'm listening to the romantic theme from Yu Yu Hakusho. That is what I'm listening to. That song is so fucking serenading for my soul. It's so great. Spoilers for those who never watched Bleach, no problem. You use the bomb. Yes, Yu Yu Hakusho is amazing. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't know. I always kind of toss up between Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho since they're both written by the same mangaka. But I feel like I always get tossed up between them. I like Yu Yu Hakusho because it actually ends. But I really like a lot of the arcs for Hunter x Hunter as well. So I always get a little bit I'm always on a toss-up between them. Scout Jupiter hands down. What about Sailor Moon? Sailor Moon, yes, I did grow up watching Sailor Moon as well. My favorite sailor scout is Sailor Venus, if I had to pick one. For when I was growing up, it was Sailor Mars. Growing up, when I was like really young, that was like my OG girl crush. But I like Sailor V a lot as well. I think Sailor V is probably my current favorite if I had to pick one. I like Yu Yu Hakusho because it ends. Yeah, mood. Yes, exactly. My father made me watch it when I was younger. Despite that, I loved it. Yes, it is amazing. It is so good. Yu Yu Hakusho is awesome. Mine is Sailor Neptune. Let's go. Does anyone actually like Usagi from Sailor Moon? I don't know. I don't know anyone that likes like OG Sailor Moon. I feel like no one likes her. She's so annoying. I feel like everyone likes everyone but her. Yeah, Sailor V is or Sailor Venus for me for sure. But yeah. Let me see. What are the other? I do know the other ones, but like blue hairs. Let's go, blue hair supremacy. Trying to think. Also, Ranma 1/2 is getting a remake. I saw that. I'm pretty interested in seeing how that turns out. Because maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just jaded. I don't think Ranma needs a remake. No. JK, and yeah, no one likes everyone likes everyone but Usagi, and her pink-haired hellspawn. Yeah, I'm not an Usagi fan. I think she's so annoying. I can't stand her. Yeah, when it comes to Ranma, I saw that Ranma's getting a remake. That's another one that I grew up watching. Yeah, the song is one that will always be stuck in my head for as long as I live. I'm pretty I'm excited but cautiously optimistic because I saw that it's not done by David Production, the same one that did Urusei Yatsura. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little scared about Ranma getting a remake because I think David Production did a really good job doing Urusei Yatsura, even though they kind of skipped a lot of it and they just they didn't adapt all of it. They only did 2 seasons for it, and the final season is kind of just adapting the movie, at least from what I heard. I didn't watch season 2. I watched season 1, but I did read the manga for Urusei Yatsura a long time ago. Mercury for the win. Let's go. Yeah, everyone but Usagi. But yeah, I saw Ranma is getting a remake. Little scared because I don't think it needs one. And I feel like if they're gonna do it, I just hope that they just adapt all of it. But there are a lot of volumes. I don't want it to be another thing where it's like we get 2 seasons of a remake, but then they just don't adapt the rest of it. Best girl in Ranma is for sure Shampoo, and I Will Die on the Hill. You guys are all wrong. If you guys like Akane, no. Oh, I cannot stand Akane. She's so annoying. The remake of that old anime about the French cross-dresser looks interesting though. Ooh, I would need to know the title in order to be able to look it up. I do not recognize though. Yeah, Ranma, Inuyasha, all of those are Rumiko Takahashi is one of my favorite mangakas. Like I pretty much like every single one of her works. I don't think there's a single work of hers that I dislike. And I've read almost all of them, I think, because I've read Maisani Koku. I've read Inuyasha and watched Inuyasha, obviously, because I grew up watching that. As well as Ranma and Urusei Yatsura. I have read that as well. I have to go now. I'm so glad I discovered your channel. Can't wait to see you return after your vacation. Have fun. Thank you, Jisoo. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to find our little welcome to Unity. To find our little Unity club. Our Unity club is for members. I'm glad you're able to find Unity. That is the fan name. But yes. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a good rest of your day or night. I'm trying to look up the title, but I'm totally getting different anime about the French crossdresser. No problem. Shampoo rules. Yes, Shampoo is best girl. No, hands down best girl. No way. I will die on the hill that she is best girl. Yeah, I tried liking Akane. I feel like I switch. Sometimes whenever I rewatch Ranma, I kind of get sometimes I like Akane. I don't mind her as much, but then whenever Shampoo comes in, I'm like, fuck, dude, she's way better. Like, why didn't they just make her the main character? That's the problem with that's kind of like the problem with harem shows, because Ranma is kind of a harem show. Is that there's only one girl that's gonna win, even if the other girls are better. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm cautiously optimistic. I will say though, the remake for Ranma, they got the fucking hair wrong. What are you doing? Why is the hair pink? The hair is like pink. It might be that color in the manga, and maybe I'm just misremembering it, but I don't know. Why isn't it red? It's supposed to be red. And that's like one of the first things that bugged me. And also they better bring back the fucking opening. They better redo the opening. If they don't, I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that and I'm like, bro, what are you guys doing? What do you want? Female Ranma good too? Yes. I'm looking forward. I'm cautiously optimistic. I am such a huge Ranma fan though that I think I'll end up enjoying it anyway. But if it does just kind of follow what has already happened, I don't know how much I'm honestly going to stick with it, because it's like the manga for Ranma is one that I've read so many times that I can't even, I literally lose count. I literally every few years too, I rewatch the anime as well. So it's just when it comes to Ranma, I can't even I feel like if it's just adapting what's already there, I don't even think I'll really check it out that much. Rosa Versailles, let me see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I do recognize this one. Never seen it though. Interesting that it's getting a remake though. Sniffies, welcome in. Welcome. But yeah, whenever I think of I'm trying to think of what else as well. What other older shows? I feel like we've been getting a lot of remakes of shows recently, and I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's kind of nostalgia pandering for a lot of those shows. I think Urusei Yatsura was an okay one because Urusei Yatsura was very old. But I feel like we're getting a lot of remakes recently, and I'm a little I don't want it to turn into like a Hollywood situation where it's just like we're getting nonstop remakes of shows that don't really necessarily need them. Just don't watch Flame of Recca. Yeah, that's what's bugging me about the Sakuna anime. The game already kind of did it better. Yeah, I'm of the opinion if it's already been done and it was already done fairly well and it still holds up pretty well, like I don't really see a need to remake something. Like I'd rather it go into a new project or something more or a project that hasn't gotten an adaptation or just something like that. But I mean, Rumiko Takahashi does sell. She's a very notorious mangaka, so I can see why from a business perspective, because there's a lot of merchandising options. They're gonna make a new season of it, and then they're going to once they make the new season of it, there's gonna be a bunch of merch for it and all of that. I have to go, but have a good break. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, thank you. Hope you have a good rest of your day or night. Remakes can be cool for some stuff, but they need to keep fresh blood pumping too. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, when it comes to shows, like I'm always interested in seeing what I feel like there's always so much new stuff that's coming out. Let me see. I actually have not taken. I know that ReZero season 3 is coming out. Uzumaki is apparently getting an anime adaptation. I don't know how that's gonna work because I feel like there hasn't really been a lot of good Junji Ito adaptations, period. Blue Lock season 2, looking forward to that. Dan as well, looks pretty fun. Dragon Ball Daima is also coming out in October. I don't know what that is going to be about, actually. Yeah, Ranma. Surprisingly, Ranma is so low on the list for like most anticipated shows for the next season. It's kind of interesting. So at that point, I have to kind of ask the question, why even bother remaking it? But it is what it is. Yeah. All right, though. All right, guys. I think though that is going to do it. I think that is going to be about it for stream. I need to pack. I need to get ready to pack for my vacation. I've been packing slowly. That's criminal, yeah. I'm trying to write my own story. I call Eleanor the Everskipper of the Beyond More. It'll probably take forever, but if you ever see it someday, that do me a solid. You got it. But all right, guys, I think I'm going to get ready to wrap up stream. I still have some other stuff that I have to do. I have packing to do and that sort of thing. Because I do leave tomorrow. I will be leaving tomorrow, but not to worry, guys. There will be a new short tomorrow. Thank you, Yuki. Have a good break. Thank you, guys. Thank you. There will be a new short tomorrow uploaded. So if you guys would like, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would check that out, as well as the days that I normally stream. There will be an upload for every day that I normally stream. Like I said, there's going to be analog horror stuff there, as well as some gameplay for some other horror games that I tried out. So look forward to those. The times will be a little bit different. It'll be a little bit earlier than the times that I normally stream. So it'll be a little bit easier and accessible for you guys to kind of check those out. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for all the announcements. Like I said, the waiting room is up for when I will be back, for when I'll be returning. That's just a placeholder. We might play a game on that day or do a analog horror watch along. So look forward to that. Keep an eye out. But yeah, I think that pretty much concludes the stream. Again, thank you Running the Train for the Akasupa, and thank you as well for the gifted Menchies as well. Thank you. And I hope that everyone that received them will be appreciative as well. So enjoy the vacay. Hope I can have one someday. I'm sure. I'm sure you will. But all right, guys, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys here on, let me actually check the day. On the 29th. Yes, I'll see you guys here on the 29th. I will be responding to comments and stuff though on the uploads and that sort of thing. So if you guys leave comments, I will be for sure responding to those and that sort of thing. So, all right, guys, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys here in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks from now, I'll see you guys here on the 29th. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Jana, or class is dismissed. Jana.